Yo, what is going on, everybody? TG here, back with another video. Thought I'd talk to you guys about Zoom. Yes, Zoom, the company that's still around even after we thought the pandemic was going to end, but it continues to just go on, and it seems like it is never going to end at this point. But Zoom, unfortunately, took a massive hit today, down 12.1% after they released their earnings. We're going to dive into that. If you guys could like and subscribe, especially subscribing, that would mean a ton to me, and it means just a lot overall. So let's just jump right into the earnings that Zoom posted, because obviously the stock is down a pretty hefty amount, almost dropping under $300 a share. If we look at their earnings, they did $1.36 per share versus expectations of $1.16 per share. So that's a pretty big beat. And they also had their first billion-dollar quarter. Let me say that again. They had a $1 billion in revenue this quarter versus expectation of $991 million. Again, big year-over-year growth. Okay, revenue increasing 54% year-over-year in the quarter, but it has slowed down a little bit. It has slowed on the growth side in other aspects. Big news come out today that the company is planning to acquire Five9 for $14.7 billion in the quarter. Now, if we actually look at Zoom, look at some of their fundamentals, it's a $101 billion company, and they're spending $14.7 billion to buy this company. Also, this is not taken into consideration after hours, I don't believe. So I think it's actually a $90 billion company. PE's pretty high, 120. That's a pretty high amount for PE on a stock, especially a stock that, while it is very in demand now, Zoom. I have Zoom on my computer. Haven't had to use it. Thankfully, we're in person for our classes, but we might be going back. Cases are spiking up like crazy. I feel like crap. Who knows? I might even have it. I don't even know. It's bad. So we might be using it, but a couple years down the road, highly doubt that Zoom is going to be a big factor, especially with so much competition out there, like Microsoft Teams, Skype, FaceTime, all that stuff. It's hard to really evaluate it and justify its valuation. But if they continue to post big quarters like this, then it will be good. The problem is the growth has slowed down a little bit. But overall, I think it's still a great stock for the time being now. And with this Delta variant going on, and who knows what's going to happen? More lockdowns, more closure. Who knows? I mean, we have an administration that is in favor of lockdowns and all that. So social distancing, all that stuff. So yeah, you could potentially see Zoom being used a lot more. But the odds of it, if you look at a long term down the road, it becomes a little less enticing, little less reasonable to believe that it's going to be a main factor like it is right now. We're still in a pandemic. It's crazy even saying that, considering the fact it's almost been 2 years. But Zoom's been the name. Zoom's been the biggest name for all of COVID. Whenever people think of that, they think of Zoom. Honestly, they think of Zoom. Moderna and Zoom. Really, those are the two ones. And it's had a massive run-up. We look at it right before the pandemic started. Let's see, like right about, where's 2020? Did I miss it? There we go. So right before, it's trading at like $100 exactly, and then spikes up, to $559 in October when things are really bad. And since then, it's lost, 37% of its value. So it has had a big pullback, very big pullback. And it is trading actually kind of near the year range on the bottom end of that spectrum. So I usually love being a contrarian, buying when everyone's selling. You guys know I do that with the mini stocks, but it's really just hard to justify buying Zoom for the long term. I think buying it for the short term can be very beneficial. I think we're going to see a lot more case spikes in these next couple weeks. Everyone's going back to school. Everyone's getting sick. Man, my campus is just flooded with cases. I mean, I'm in Florida, so that's reasonable that that's happening. But I think you're going to see it nationwide, to be honest. And I think Zoom's going to be a factor still. But again, it's already trading at a very high PE ratio. So, that makes it, a little bit different. But it's having a pretty bad month, pretty bad 6 month, pretty bad year to date. But it is still up for the 1 year. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But again, the slowing growth is not a great thing, just because of the fact that this is a growth company, hence the PE, hence the year-over-year growth. This is a growth company, so you need to have that huge year-over-year growth to justify the valuations being where it is. So again, I'm not an expert on what's going to happen in the future, if people are going to be using it or not, but I really think that after this, people are not going to want to use it anymore. People want to get back out into the real world and do real world things. I know I do. I hate Zoom. I absolutely despise it. I don't pay attention at all on that. I really don't care. I don't think most people do. Most people sitting there with their webcam off. No one's paying attention. And I think schools realize that. People get better grades, yes, on Zoom, because you can just cheat. But you're you're not actually learning more than you are in person. And I don't know why people would pay to go to college if they're having to take it on Zoom. I think that's the biggest waste of money you could ever do. But that's my own personal opinion. Again, we let the numbers speak for themselves on Zoom. They had a great quarter overall. Top and bottom beat, great. But the growth slowed down a little bit, and they had a big acquisition. So again, we'll see if that's. Well, I don't know if this is a good idea for them to buy it out. Obviously, the market is not reacting well to that, but again, we'll just have to see. But anyways, I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on Zoom. If you plan on continuing to use Zoom in the years to come, or if you plan on holding or buying Zoom stock for years to come. But anyways, guys, let me know. Come in the Discord as well and talk with us. I love meeting you guys in there. I love talking with you guys. You guys are awesome. Subscribing as well means a ton. Still trying to work on that 5,000 sub video. It's just been hectic, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been absolutely hectic. Between school and tennis and life, there's a lot going on right now. A lot behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. And I wish I could share some of that stuff with you, but at the time, it's just a little difficult too. But anyways, guys, I thank you so much for everything, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Remember to subscribe, and I'll talk to you then. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.